Welcome to CITAM Church Online. This is Pastor Karita Mbagara, the senior pastor at CITAM Karen. We've been tracking through the book of Habakkuk, looking at what he does with respect to prayer. We saw that he started by asking God, "How long will I keep calling and you do not answer?" God answered him. Then he was not satisfied, so he posed more questions to God, saying that what you are prescribing is worse than the situation that you are trying to resolve. And then he closed that session by saying, "I will wait on God." In chapter 2 from verse 2, we find that now God answers him and God speaks to Habakkuk to answer his second complaint. I just want to read for you verse 2 and then comment on it. Then the Lord replied, "Write down the revelation, make it plain on the tablet so that a herald may run with it. For the revelation waits an appointed time. It speaks of the end, and it will not prove false. Though it lingers, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. See, he is puffed up. His desires are not upright, but the righteous will live by faith." When you read through this whole passage of chapter 2 from verse 2 all the way to the end, you will find that actually God answered all the questions that Habakkuk had asked. So God was faithful, and now he's reaching to a place where his conversation with Habakkuk is going to be pleasing to Habakkuk. Not only that, Habakkuk is told, now you can write the record or have a permanent record of what I am saying, so that you can, and what you write is reliable. God gives the appropriate answers to the questions that Habakkuk is asking. The things that we find in this chapter is that God gives Habakkuk a revelation of the two ways that are there in life. There is the way of the puffed up person or the proud person, the person who seeks his own glory. And Habakkuk is told that the people of Judah were like that, but so were the Babylonians. His question had been, will the Babylonians in their evil continue punishing them as if nothing is wrong with them? And God says, no. The proud people will be judged, including the Babylonians. After I have used them, I will punish them. And I know at one point I said that Satan is also a puppet, not just a puppet, but he's a tool in the hands of God. He too, at the end of it all, will be punished. It's like God is communicating that at the end of the whole story, he will bring the wicked into judgment. But he also speaks to those who are righteous, and he says, the righteous shall live by faith. This is a powerful statement that is repeated many times in the Bible. You will find it in the book of Romans chapter 1 verse 17. It's also found in the book of Galatians chapter 3 verse 17. It's also found in Hebrews chapter 10 verse 38. That those who are righteous will ultimately be justified. What God points out in this chapter is the principle of sowing and reaping. Those who live in wickedness will reap according to their wickedness. Those who live in righteousness will reap according to their righteousness. It may not be immediate, but it is an established principle of life, that God is not mocked. The book of Galatians chapter 6 tells us that those who think they can mock God, they are deceiving themselves. God may use them and may allow them to operate for a season, but their end is already predetermined. But also the righteous may suffer for a season, but their end is also predetermined, which is a good one. It's like the psalmist saying, joy will come in the morning after you have had a night of mourning. Or to quote it the proper way, it says, mourning may endure for a night, but joy will come in the morning. When you read through the chapter, you will find that the Babylonians, according to God, are judged for being greedy, for practicing injustice, for being violent, for carousing or drinking deeply and heavily, for idolatry, that is the worship of other gods. But God still says, for all those sins, they will be judged. This is an encouragement for us as we pray, and we seem not to be receiving the answers we are seeking. God is telling us, don't worry, I am in charge. I will bring evil to an end, and the righteous will prosper forever. And at the end of this chapter, you find that God says, after I have established that principle for you, then in chapter 2, verse 20, he says, let the earth be silent. Don't disturb me. I know what I am doing. Don't be perturbed. I am in my holy place. I am in charge. I am in control. And that's what God is telling you about your situation. I am in charge. Be at peace. Trust me. There is blessing in putting your faith in my word that I have given you. I want to hear what you think about what God is telling you using the social media platforms that are listed below. God bless you.